It sounds the craziest to say that you will get the richest when you just let go, but it's true. And y'all have probably heard that before, like, oh, you need to just let go. Like, it sounds crazy to say, but the best advice I could ever tell anyone is to let go of reality, completely let go, because you were too attached to the results of it. If you're putting in work every single day of your life and you're still not seeing results, it's because you're too attached to the results. Imagine if you only focus on the internal of your body, you did not focus on the external. You only focus on actually becoming the best version of yourself, speaking like your millionaire version of yourself, acting like it, and then becoming it, instead of the results that are going to tie to it. That's when you get your dream life, and it's called the Law of Detachment.
You just have to let go of all the attachments to your desires, okay? When we let go of all our attachments to desires, guess what happens? All our desires manifest. Because when we don't have attachment to our desires, we don't have resistance.
When you're over-attached, that gets you worse results, not better. You end up placing too much importance on an outcome, and just like excess energy is stored as fat on you, excess importance around caring too much is stored in your body as anxiety. So the solution is not to stop caring altogether. It's to have the appropriate amount of detachment, which allows you to tap into your true confidence and trust yourself.
There's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita that says that detachment is not that you own nothing. Detachment is that nothing owns you. And I love it, because to me that summarizes detachment in a way that it's not usually explained. Usually people see detachment as being away from everything. Actually, the greatest detachment is being close to everything and not letting it consume and own you. And that's real power, that's real strength. How many people do we know that have had fame and then that fame has ruined them? So for me, that definition of detachment is possible to practice even in the real world, rather than saying, oh, I'm just gonna have a really simple life, I'm just gonna have nothing in life.
Now, how do you let go? How do you let go? Letting go is something that becomes, letting go, first off, may be hard to do. And the degree to which letting go is hard depends on the degree to which there's an attachment. Now, the attachment is something we cling onto, maybe because it's familiar to cling onto something, but also we believe that this thing is going to mean happiness. We believe that if we were to let go of this thing, it would be pain. But you know what's funny is when you let go of needing to attract love, you attract love. When you let go of needing money in abundance, and you just start being you, and you start like expressing yourself in the world, it comes as a reflection.
The solution to your problem is not going to be found in the problem. It's not going to be found in there. You have to get out of the problem so that you can look at it, make an assessment, and you can assess how to solve the problem or whether you need to solve the problem or not. I mean, there's a lot of things in my life right now where I shrug my shoulders and go, okay. It's okay. Oh, someone's saying this. Okay. Roger that. Carry on. No factor. Move on. And then occasionally you go, okay, this is something I need to contend with. This is something I need to deal with. This is something I need to shape or adjust or move or solve, to use your word. And the reason I laugh when I say that is because problems, you have to get in there, but if you take a step back, you can usually say, oh, a little adjustment here, a little adjustment there, and that thing's gonna sort itself out. So detachment is a superpower, man.
There was a big painting on the wall of the yoga studio. It says desire and detachment. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, we want all the beautiful things in life. We want all the pleasures. We want all the happiness. We want it all. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't be attached to it. Because then if you're attached to it and you don't have it, what's going to happen to you?
When you can detach to the point where you are always present and you are trusting in each and every moment to be exactly what it needs to be. That, in my opinion, is when you will find the greatest joy.
The greatest power is to be self-controlled, to be able to train the mind and energy to focus it exactly where you want it and when you want it to be. You are completely detached and undeterred from external ups and downs. You're able to navigate anything that seems tough, challenging, fun, excitement, with the same amount of being equipoised and balanced in equanimity, without being too excited in pleasure or being too depressed in pain. but knowing how to navigate every situation. To me, that's great strength and great power.
Here is the true secret of the law of attraction. You have a core vibrational frequency. It is purely, uniquely you. It's a beacon. It's like a lighthouse. It shines, it radiates purely that signature frequency of your unique being. It never stops radiating that light, that frequency, that energy. Never stops. Everything that is in alignment with that frequency is doing its utmost to come to you. Everything that is not aligned with that frequency is doing its utmost to get as far away from you as it possibly can. If the things that are aligned with that beacon aren't reaching you, it's not because you're not vibrating at the resonance that you need to attract it. It's because your definitions and beliefs are holding it away. If the things that are trying to get away from you can't get away from you, it's not because they're not trying, it's because you're holding on to them. So the true secret of the law of attraction is not how to learn to attract what you prefer, it's how to learn to let go of what you don't, so that you can let in what is trying to get to you automatically by definition. That's the true secret, and that's why it's effortless. It's just about letting go and letting in. It's not about having to learn to do something you're not already doing.
I just want to let you know that if you're holding on to something that does not serve you, you are making a terrible error. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. You may blame other people or other things. You may blame the situation. It's you are the cause of the problem. You don't want anything in your life that's not serving you, that's not causing you to grow, that's not adding to the quality of your life. I don't care what it is. You will find some people, they just hold on to bad stuff. They hold on to problems. They don't want to seem to let it go. And that adds more problems. Whatever you focus on grows. The only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to. Why would you hold on to anything that's not serving you? I want you to think about this.
Let's do a different scenario. What if your parents came up saying that you were the poorest, that money is so hard to find, you're never going to have money? You're going to have that mindset of scarcity all the time. Most of you don't even know truly who you are. So by using this law, you can detach from who you are now and instead create the version of yourself that you so desire. The law of detachment is a superpower, and it is hands down the greatest law.
And detach from the outcome. Such a powerful lesson. Let go of what's going to come to you, and what is going to come to you will keep showing up in larger and larger and larger amounts. There's a wonderful old fable of a cat and a kitten. And the kitten is chasing his tail. And he's chasing it and chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. You've seen little kittens do that. Finally, this old alley cat comes up to it and says, "What are you doing?" And the kitten said, "Well, I've just gone to cat philosophy school. And we learned two things in cat philosophy school. One is that the most important thing in the world for a cat is happiness. And two, that it's located in my tail." That's what we learned. So what I'm doing is I'm chasing after it. And when I finally get my mouth on it and get a firm grip on it, I'll have a lock on eternal happiness. The old cat said, "Well, you know," he said, "I've never had the same opportunities that you have. I've lived in the alleys most of my life. I never got a chance to go to school. But it's interesting, I learned the same thing that you did. Number one is that the most important thing in the world for a cat is happiness, and indeed that it's located in my tail." He said, "The only difference between you and I is that I've found and discovered that when I go about my business and do the things that are most important to me, it follows after me wherever I go." And there's great wisdom in that fable. Let it chase you. Let it follow you instead of being something that you're consumed with having to get. Because the more you're attached to the outcome, the more you're trying to get something that isn't what you really want.
The ability to detach yourself from your own emotions is extremely important in life. It doesn't mean that you become a cold, rational person at all. I don't believe in that at all. Emotions are extremely important for us. It's what makes us creative. feeds our imagination, gives us drive. But the ability that you can gain over your life in this instant and in every other instant to have a degree of detachment, it's only a matter of degree, where you can stand back and you feel something very powerfully. You feel attracted to something or a person. You feel excited or repulsed. And to not react and to step back and analyze and go, why am I feeling this right now? Is it because of what somebody is saying right now? Or does it go deeper to that? Is it related to some other issue? That is a skill that is not easy, but you can develop it day by day by day, taking little steps. And so if you're able to slowly detach yourself from your day-to-day emotional reactions, it gives you a little bit of distance between you and your ego, right?
So attachment is like when I really want something and I've really got to have it. It's something that you really want and I've really got to have it. And I want it and I can't be happy until I have it. Life isn't going to be good until I have it. That's like an attachment to your desire. Whereas if you were like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a new house? Okay, so here's the difference. I really want a new house. I can't stand this house. This house is falling down. This house has a lot of problems. And then on the other side of that is, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a new house? Can you feel the difference? This one is effortless. It's kind of effortless. Wouldn't it be nice? So you could say that in front of all of your desires. Wouldn't it be nice if I had this? Wouldn't it be nice? And so that you're not kind of attached. Because when you're attached, it's really hard for it to manifest, okay?
Here lies a divine paradox. To get what you want, you must reach a point where you no longer need it. This is the art of surrender. It is not abandoning your desire. It is abandoning the anxious, desperate striving for your desire. When you have truly and successfully assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, a deep sense of peace and rest takes over. The longing ceases. The worry dissolves. This is the Sabbath, the sacred state of rest. You know it is done. At this point you surrender. You release it in faith, confident that the seed has been planted and will sprout in its own time. If you are still feeling anxious, still checking for results, still trying to make it happen, you have not yet reached the point of true surrender. This state of rest is the sign that your creative act is complete.
When we feel like we need something and it doesn't come to us, as humans, what do? Fear, anxiety, doubt, everything comes in our mind. All that stuff. It literally fills our mind, it consumes us. And if doubt and fear and things like that are consuming you, how are you supposed to detach from reality? No, you're too attached to the results behind it because you're too scared that it's not going to happen. You have a fear. And there's like a law in the world that says like when you fear something to happen, like when you have fear that something's either gonna happen or not gonna happen, it's more likely to happen. Fear is the #1 success killer. You cannot have fear. The only way to not have fear is to just know the work you are doing and know where you're going in life is going to get you to where you want to be. The rest does not matter. The law of detachment is a real thing.
Most people go wrong. When they hear the word detachment, we get it confused with numbing out. Can't pay the bills. Who cares? I'm detached. Wife left me. I'm detached. Who cares? Don't get the concept of detachment confused with feeling apathetic and feeling nothing for anything. Detachment is being selective of what you're choosing to care about. But in the same way, too many calories get stored as fat. Excess energy stores in you literally as fat. Excess importance or caring gets stored in you as anxiety, as nerves. The reason we're drained is because we're processing so much of like, how does that sound? How do they like me? How am I looking? And that literally takes energy away from you. You can detach from your image, you can detach from controlling outcomes, and you can detach from timelines.
When you are so detached to the point that you know that your higher self and God has the best in place for you, you can sit back and completely enjoy every beautiful moment.
The more you pursue happiness, the further away from it you get. The more you try to feel confident, the more you question yourself and feel insecure. The more you wish to be loved, the more your neediness repels people around you. The constant desire to be free from constraints is itself a constraint. Aldous Huxley once wrote, "The harder we try with the conscious will to do something, the less we shall succeed. Proficiency and results come only to those who have learned the paradoxical art of doing and not doing, or combining relaxation with activity." The most fundamental components of our psychology operate in this way. This is because when we consciously desire a particular state of mind, we inadvertently create the opposite state of mind. So it's by wanting to be happy that we remind ourselves that we are not happy. It's wanting to be confident that we remind ourselves we are not confident. It's by wanting to be loved that we remind ourselves that we don't feel loved.
Because you can have whatever you want, but attachment is full of fear. Fear that you're not going to have it. You can love somebody and then you can be attached that you'll be afraid of losing them. You see, love isn't afraid of anything. Attachment is afraid of losing something. So that's kind of the difference. But if you just say, wouldn't it be nice, then it's like really easy going. I mean, you've got a magic wand. You can create anything you want, but you just got to be really cool about it, right? You got to be, I can do that, I can have that, I can be that.
It's something that you're going to have to, it's a life skill that you have to build. The power to take a step back and look at yourself with some distance and see that ego as if it's over there, it's floating in front of you, it's giving you signs of who you are. You can develop that, and it's very powerful, and it will give you the ability to look at your own wounds objectively, but you're never going to reach a degree of 100% detachment.
Have you ever noticed that the more detached you are from something happening, the more likely it is to happen, and the more attached you are to either something happening or to a person or to anything, the more you are likely to block that thing from happening.
The next stage of your development might not be more effort, but more ease, might be less grind and more grace. And this chasm of cognitive effort is something that certainly a lot of my friends and myself get stuck in, right? That you can really struggle to let go of a strategy which gave you success in the past. I know if I'm faced with a challenge that if I apply tons of cerebral horsepower to it, it'll go away. Problem is, that doesn't scale. You can't do that for everything for the rest of time. I mean, you can. You could do that, but it's going to restrict how far you can get because it's not very scalable, it's not very leverageable, it's very effortful, it's going to tire you out, it isn't easily delegated. All of this ties together into letting go.
Anything that's on a pedestal, there's resistance around. Anything you see as less than you, there's also a negative potential energy that's created. The key to you experiencing your dream reality is to have it be natural for your identity. It's not this awesome thing that happens. It actually feels normal. And think about it for a minute. The most magnetic people you know have a certain degree of non-attachment to outcome. They're not trying to control their being. They're present to the moment. And when someone is present to the moment, there's an energy about that because there's presence there.
Like when you really trust yourself, you're detached. When you really trust your abilities, you're not overthinking. When you really trust that life is going to work out for you, that is when you can tap into detachment.
Like, why were we told that it's hard to be successful? Who knows? But that's just something that we were programmed to believe. And obviously, as I talk about, every single thing is belief. But if you have strong enough beliefs, you can easily detach from reality. And not just detach from reality, but detach from every single thing around you.
Most of us are attached to something or other. Maybe a piece of property, old furniture, or a picture, or an idea, or a belief, or an experience. Watch yourself, please. You know you're attached to something, or to a person, to some experience that one has had. Where there is attachment, please listen, just observe the consequence of attachment. We're not saying you mustn't be attached, just observe the nature of attachment. And then out of that observation comes right action with regard to attachment.